Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. She promised us she was coming back, and here she is. This is the Sontaran Stratagem. Hello, everyone. Welcome to I was going to say welcome to Doctor Who. Welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who podcast in the world. My name is Nathan. I'm joined, as always, by Lawrence, and this is a Doctor Who podcast.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a little brain fart there. I messed up a little bit.
We're recording at a different time, so you're not like programmed. You're not mentally conditioned for this time of the day to be working like this.
Do you know what? We're recording on a rare instance during the daylight because now it starts to get dark about 4:30. And like, I don't know about you, but like as soon as I'm like finished work for the day, like around about 4:30, 5, I just look outside and I'm going, well, it's time for bed then, isn't it? It's time to just get curled up, just go straight to bed. And then I wake up at like 8 p.m. and I'm like, where the fuck am I? What is going on? What mistake have I made here today?
Is this the morning? What is this?
Yeah, I'm so confused. I've traveled through time and space, much like we have to bring you this lovely episode. Still Got Legs, where each week we talk about and discuss an episode of Doctor Who. During the revival era, this is something we're going to need to discuss, Lawrence, because
oh yeah,
I'm not sure if you're aware, if you've been up to date with the news, but the revival era has officially ended. And it did so over a year ago. We just didn't know about
it. Yeah, we had no idea we were mourning the loss of a certain like saga of the show. I brought this up a couple of weeks back, and you were like, "You're a fucking idiot. That's not the way it goes. They haven't called it this."
I don't know if I did that.
I think you were very nasty in your victory. You were a sore winner about that, and I had to concede. And now you're like, oh, Lawrence, don't know if you've actually heard about this. And trying to sweep it in under the rug.
No, I think we were talking about two different things there. I think we was talking about how it's categorized on BBC iPlayer, because you were saying that it had switched over, but it hadn't or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm right is the point.
The menial things that we just spend 5 minutes disagreeing on over this show.
but
hang on. So what are we in now?
So now we're in a grey area. We're in the no zone officially. we're in the void, the space between the worlds, the grey area, as it were. Because right now we're between the end of one era and the start of the next. This is officially. I said this to you yesterday. This episode here is officially the last episode that will be released before any new Doctor Who content. Because at the time of release, when this comes out on Monday, the next episode will be... the first episode of the 60th anniversary will be this coming Saturday. So...
Bloody hell. So there's going to be more Doctor Who than ever going on in our heads.
And there was already some. So this past weekend, but for us it hasn't happened yet, so this coming Friday... There's going to be a little Children in Need special clip, isn't there? So
did you watch it? What do you think?
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, Lawrence.
Just one of the many ways we manipulate time and space to bring you this show.
We record these ahead of time, Lawrence. I don't know. So there we go. But yeah, so we say that, like, you know, we're making our way through the revival era, but now I guess we need to figure out what it's called, or is it still the revival era? Is it New Who? Is this new era, new Who? I don't like the idea that someone floated it's like the Disney Plus era. Hate that.
That's awful. Yeah.
No. First of all, not for me. It's not. I'm not watching it on Disney Plus. Not in this country. The one good thing about the UK at the moment.
I don't know. What would we call it? I guess we'd. So it's classic. Then was it always called the revival? Because people have called it New Who, right, for years.
Yeah, New Who is kind of the fan favorite term, I guess. New Who. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess.
But it's not really New Who anymore, because now this is this new era.
Newer Who.
Yeah. No, I don't like that.
That time that Russell came back and people restarted the show for some reason.
But look, well, all of us, we all need to have a meeting and collectively decide what is the best option, so we can figure this out. But anyway, that's some semantics about the world in which we live in. And honestly, you know, people might listen to this and like, you know, down the line, a few years, maybe even they'll be like, what the fuck are they on about? Like, you know, could it all be solved by them? So
do you know what the biggest trouble is? Like, we thought no one. This is admin, right? But you're here for this, right? You're involved in this conversation now. Like, we just title these episodes, right? Just the episode title, but then in the description we have like season 4 episode whatever this one is.
No, it's categorized in like as seasons on the podcast platform.
Okay, so like, what happens after this?
I don't know. But Lawrence, luckily, we have 3 years until we need to worry about that. So
before it becomes like a 2-hour admin job for us.
Yes, until we don't have to worry about that until like June of 2026. So
okay,
let's not stress too much just yet. Okay.
Okay. Well, Nathan, I am stressed. Because this is a good episode. That wasn't a segue, but this is a good episode.
That was a horrible segue.
It worked. It worked, and we're here.
Well, I don't know if it worked, but we are certainly here. And where are we, Lawrence? Well, I'll tell you. This.
Good, because my heart fell out my arse. I was like, I don't have this information.
You shit yourself moment.
I was like, well, no. Oh God.
You can easily get this information up, though. Actually, yeah, Lawrence, where are we?
Okay, Nathan. Well, it's a good thing you asked, and I am not biding my time until I find out. I'm just why is the spreadsheet not flipping over? What's going on, Nathan? It is a good thing you asked. We are on season 4, episode 4, called "The Sontaran Stratagem," written by Helen Rayner and directed by Douglas McKinnon.
Wow, beautiful. What can you tell me about those two, Lawrence?
I can tell you that they definitely do the next episode as well.
Well, that is something, at least. So,
what else can you tell me about them if you know all the facts?
I can tell you that Helen Rayner is, I believe, the second female writer that Doctor Who has had in what was the revival era, is now, as of yet, unknown territory. But
well, I knew that. What I was doing was testing to see if you knew that and if you were up to date. And keeping score. What the second? Give me that again.
Yeah, I think she's the second female writer. I think possibly the third, but I don't think so. I think we had the first one last season in possibly the Daleks Manhattan storyline.
That rings a bell.
But then I think we had the female director in possibly Blink. I think.
Okay.
Yes, and I think this is the second female writer we've had.
Still a real poor show.
Yes, and it is going to stay a real poor show for quite a while. I mean, look, you can see this list here. Just look at all those dudes.
Just a sea of Andys and Grahams,
Russells and Stevens and Marks.
There's some Chris's thrown in the mix.
There's a few Chris's, yes.
There's certainly a Toby and a Neil.
When is the next female writer?
I can't see one inside.
Neither can I.
Oh dear Lord, that's
hold
bad.
on. I'm just looking down now. All right, the next one I can see is in season 9, which that cannot be true. That's insane.
Do you know what? Like, people don't have access to this spreadsheet, but when you see it laid out in front of you, you go, "That should change." There's something not good about that.
Is that right? I'm just looking up. Don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of these are like the same 4 dudes, but even so, like.
Yeah, but just pass the baton every once in a while.
I think it is, yeah. I think it's the next one is Series 9. So
fuck me.
We'll look out for that one in 2025, I guess.
Brilliant. Okay, well.
That's one to discuss.
Fucking hell. Well, it was fun while we lasted. Well, we've got 2, right? We've got 2. We don't want to move on too fast from the Sontaran Stratagem. Let's talk about it. Nathan, do you love the Sontaran Stratagem as I do?
I like the Sontaran Stratagem.
Okay. Right.
I do not. You see, the thing is, I struggle with 2-parters until we've had the whole story, really.
And female writers as well, you said.
Yes,
that.
Of course. Yeah, that's me famously. That is incorrect, first of all. No, I struggle with two-parters until we've had the whole story laid out to us, because at the moment it's half a story, isn't it?
I agree.
I'm not as yet keen.
Well, technically it's a 3-parter if you count Utopia, which I do.
Well, Utopia?
I'm just doing a silly little joke.
You almost could have made that work with the Doctor's daughter.
Oh, I could have done.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
The Martha trilogy in season 4.
Yeah.
That's what they should call it. They should call it the era of the show where the Martha trilogy was there.
I mean, she comes back later in the series as well.
Player. Great. Oh, yeah, she does, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, yes. It's half a story, so I'm hesitant to lay down my label of banger, but I would also be hesitant to lay down that label anyway, because, as I said, I enjoyed it. I don't necessarily love it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit? I mean, you know my thoughts, but I think. What? No, well, I love it, right? I think this works on every conceivable level. I think this has got like
your takes lately are insane. You're like
right of all of them, of all of the questionable takes that I have. If you could do a survey, this one I'd be on top for. This is a loved episode of Doctor Who.
Yes, it's a good bit of fun, I'd say. But you're talking about it like it's the second coming of Christ, saying
Nathan,
it works on every conceivable level. I don't know if it does. But...
I would say that it might not be the second coming of Christ. It is a returning companion. There are fun dynamics with the current companion. There are companion family hijinks, a favourite of ours.
There's so much companion-related content.
No, yeah, exactly. And also a great villain, like a really just interesting setting. There's like a fun threat level established. And... I don't know. I think this is really good, and it's like a little bit of a mystery. It unfolds as it goes along. That's most episodes of TV, but like it works really well. It starts with like a little cold open, leaves you wanting more. I love it.
Beautiful. Well, I'm happy for you, Lawrence. I really am. I'm glad that we get to discuss an episode that is so enjoyable and prevalent. Well, I was going to say, it reminds me of another Happy Pod episode on The Incredibles, where it was something which clearly means a lot to you, but I'm just like, yeah, it's okay.
it is that vibe. But like, if I was going to put on an episode of Doctor Who, there's a high chance it'd be this one. I've seen this episode a lot.
See, if I was going to put on an episode of Doctor Who, just any random episode, this would be pretty low down in ones that I would pick out.
Okay.
Because also, first of all, I wouldn't just throw on a 2-parter. I feel like that's a commitment as well, first of all.
No more of a commitment to throwing on a movie.
No, but I'm not throwing on a movie. I'm throwing on an episode of Doctor Who. I got
it cannot be contained in a lunch break.
Exactly. I got a tight 45 minutes. I got my sandwich. What am I going to watch? Okay,
that's true. Yeah. The
Sontaran Stratagem, fun as it is, excuse me, would not necessarily be top of my choices. I'd possibly go for a Fires of Pompeii, perhaps. I'm looking down at my list now. With these are all ones to come, but I'd throw in a God Complex. Bells of St. John can be a banger. Look,
interesting, Nathan. These all seem to be male directors and writers.
Well, yeah, they all are, Lawrence.
Well, I'm just, I don't want to put you on, you're not on the wrong side of history or anything, Nathan. I'm just saying it's interesting is all.
No, I would actually throw on...
Oh, would you?
Yeah, I would actually throw on Series 9, Episode 6, The Woman Who Lived, written, of course, by Catherine Tregenna. So.
You're joking that it's called The Woman Who Lived.
Yeah. Well,
and they were like, we got to get a woman in for this one.
Well, no, the one before it is called The Girl Who Died.
Okay.
And that is technically a 2-parter.
There you go. You're not putting that on in your lunch break. Nathan, let us discuss this episode before we just discuss any more menial Doctor Who things.
Yeah. So how does it open up, Lawrence? So it's the dead of night. The spooky mysteries are afoot. There's a big X-Men mansion or possibly Batman mansion going on. What is happening?
There's definitely some sort of like ancestral home situation going on. But it's like very modern on the inside, but we'll get there.
Oh, the inside is definitely a completely different location to the house. Don't worry about that.
That's a listed building. You think you can get a fucking Sontaran teleport platform in there? It's just not happening. But yeah, so there's a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of a scuffle going on. A reporter woman is being kicked out of the X Mansion, and Luke and his brainy school for nerds are all in orange jumpsuits.
I mean, they're red.
They're orange.
No, they're red.
We have the same TV, so either you're colorblind, or I am partially colorblind, so it may actually
You just answered the question then, didn't you? They're definitely red.
I think they're orange. Let us know in the comments if they're orange or red. We want to know.
Is it me who's correct, or the guy who's partially colorblind? Let us know.
I still think it might be me. Okay, but I can't clarify that.
You're very much incorrect. Okay,
fine. Sure. They are handling a reporter out of the woman. They are handling a reporter out of the building, and they're like tossing her to the curb. And he's just like laughing off her concerns. She's like, "Atmos is dangerous." Atmos is a sat nav, and she's like, "It's dangerous," and he's just a smarmy arsehole straight away. He's like, "If you're gonna go to print, it's Rattigan with 2 T's." Yeah, good intrigue, Nathan, off the bat, a mystery. Then he goes back and he starts speaking to some sort of alien. We don't know who this alien is yet, but yeah, either way, the woman gets in the car. She's going off. She's like, "I'm gonna take this not proof," because she said she can't prove it, but it's like definitely some research or some findings that she's got. And she's going to take it off and send it to the authorities that have the power to do something about this. When all of a sudden, Nathan, she is forced to drive into a lake.
Yes, she is.
Rough way to go.
Evil sat-nav, basically. And you know what? This is very much like an episode, a product of the time, okay? Because like this came out right in the peak sort of sat-nav fear-mongering area as well. Like sat-nav was starting to become more common amongst people. Everyone had a little TomTom or a little whatever in their cars. Well, not everyone. It was still quite new, but it was starting to show up more and more. And it was this new technology, but also a little bit scary. You can't trust it. I remember when my dad first got one, he was always ignoring it. And I'm like, "Dad, what is even the point of using it?" Like,
my dad was the same. I know better than a robot. I'm like, maybe not a satellite though.
Exactly. He's like, "I don't trust it." I'm like, "Well, then why is it on?" Because we just
if you know the way to go.
We just have it rerouting directions every 2 minutes now. So why is it on if you don't trust it?
Take a U-turn. Just echoes in my childhood of my dad going the wrong way, and he's like, "I know what the fuck I'm doing. Thank you very much."
Yes. So there we go. So it's peak sat-nav fear area. So it's possibly the perfect time for this sort of episode to come out, and it's a good sort of premise. The evil sat-nav kind of thing, and there is something sinister about like the way it's like saying you have reached your destination just over and over again as she like is hurtled towards her death in Cardiff docks.
They do the same thing that like we were just saying our dads do as well, where it's like, "You have reached your destination," and she's like, "I don't fucking think so, mate." And it's like this is of use to no one.
Only she has more right to be doing it. She's not like our stubborn dads who are just like, "I could have got there faster."
It's like, "Oh, could you?" That's why it was on.
Never trust a robot. Never trust a woman. That's our dads. Never trust a woman robot, especially.
Oh, goodness.
They're of a different generation.
yeah, we're very much more evolved than this. But yeah, no, I like that. It's a good little setup. You're right. We'll get into more of like the concept of basically putting a weapon in 800 million fucking devices across the planet. I just think that's very, very cool stuff. But after that, after we watch a woman drown, we're then treated to a bit of a silly scene. Donna is flying the TARDIS, or trying to fly the TARDIS.
Well, I believe we're treated to the opening titles of Doctor Who.
Well, I would think you're wrong.
Let's go to the tape.
We have to get the Doctor has to receive the phone call first, Nathan.
Does it not go, "You've reached your destination," and then it's...
Are you telling me you have forgotten Doctor, it's Martha, and I'm bringing you back to Earth.
No, I remember that, but it was...
When does the wow happen?
I think you might be right, actually. I do apologise. Okay.
That's okay. I'll forgive you on this one time, but don't let it happen again.
Lawrence, don't even try to fucking talk to me like that, because it will not work out for you, all right? Don't even try to wrestle some authority from me, okay? Yes, so shut up. So we're in the TARDIS. Donna is flying the TARDIS. This isn't something we've seen as of yet, is it? A companion having a go, basically.
I don't think it is. I don't even think Rose got a say in it at all.
No.
Had a go.
And we all know how perfect and amazing Rose was. He never fucking shuts up about her. So
Rose can fly the TARDIS with absolutely no prior knowledge of it. I mean, I think she does at one point.
I don't think she does. Oh, well.
Yeah. It's debatable whether she was at the wheel.
I mean, she absorbed the heart of the time vortex, and she didn't press a single control. She did it with magic or whatever. But
I'd argue that's even more impressive.
I mean, she just looked at something. Really? Is it that impressive?
No, perhaps not. No, I like that, though. It just echoes that Donna is way more of a mate than we've seen from any other New Who pairing of Doctor and companion. Like, it's just the Doctor's like, yeah, you have a go on my little ship. Why not? It's fun.
There is something funny about 10, first of all, letting Donna, like, slowly learn to fly the TARDIS, but also being extremely worried at the same time, and probably rightfully so. Like, out of all the companions, I'd worry the most about Donna. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Donna, but I wouldn't trust her to, like, I don't know, set up a new computer for me or something.
I agree. I think Donna is also the person that just, like, loves life enough to, like, take off and then assume she's nailed it and she's got it, and then she starts doing twirls and then takes more than a chunk out of the 1980s and stuff. I feel like Rose and Martha might be more attentive to, like, oh, I'm flying something that's really dangerous, whereas Donna would be like, check this shit out, no hands.
Would you like to fly the TARDIS?
What you're asking is essentially would I like to pull a lever. So I can do that here, I guess. No,
well,
I'm all right.
There's different ways of doing it. You can...
How much would I be allowed to do? What's the stress scenario? That depends on how you fly the TARDIS.
No,
right?
it's not a stress. Well, yeah, I guess it depends if you crash into anything. But, like...
I'm learning to drive currently, and I'm nervous enough driving a car.
Yeah.
I feel like a TARDIS would have worse implications if I were to crash it. I've never crashed, but, you know.
I'll have a go. I think I can learn. I think I'd be quite good.
I just want David Tennant over my shoulder telling me I did a good job.
Not me, no. I'll figure it out for myself.
Fair enough. Nathan, there's a phone call. Who rings the Doctor, please?
It's our Queen, Lawrence. Martha is back. Did you stand up and cheer?
I didn't stand up and cheer, but I genuinely did get goosebumps at her. I'm bringing you back to Earth.
Did you?
It's such a good thing. We spoke about this, I think, with Catherine a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Basically, like, saying you can have any kind of cliffhanger, you can have any kind of, like, cold open that's creepy or whatever, but it just doesn't hit as hard as just Martha going, and I'm bringing you back to it. Like, she knew she was delivering the open sting line there.
Yeah, that's true. It is definitely one of those lines which is sort of become iconic and quotable, and definitely a good bit of fun from the show. Do you think the Doctor's quite hesitant to pick up that phone?
Because he knows who's calling.
Yeah, there's only one person calling that phone, and, like, the last time he saw her, she was like, look, you're all right, but you ruined my entire life. So, like, I need to go.
I think the beauty in that relationship is there's always going to be some tension. And you get that when when he steps off the TARDIS. But yeah, I absolutely think he's apprehensive.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's like, oh, should I ignore it? Oh, but then he can't ignore it. He obviously...
He would never ignore it, but there is, and Martha touches on this ever so slightly with a kind of off-the-cuff line, but we know what the Doctor's known for, right? He's known for dropping a companion home and then forgetting they exist.
Yes, as he has done numerous times.
Yes. So, like, I think there's a part of him that's just, like, he kind of looks at Donna and is like, yeah, but, like, Donna's here? Like, this is going to be really awkward. I don't know about this.
Yeah, and we do get a bit of that, I think, like, because... once he lands and they have the reunion, and there's the hug and everything, which is quite sweet, and it's a nice little moment for them to catch up. But then as soon as Donna steps out of the TARDIS, there's a immediate bit of tension, and 10 is just having war flashbacks to fucking school reunion where Sarah Jane and Rose were just sniping at each other constantly in that beautifully written episode. And he's like, come on, we don't need this, let's not have trouble, don't start. But they're like, why are we gonna argue over you? Like, shut up.
Yeah, Donna's not interested, and Martha made it explicitly clear that she was done with that. I like that. I like that moment where Donna says like "you wish" and like just immediately gets on with Martha like a house on fire, and you can just see in 10's eyes, he's like, I kind of wanted them to do a little more.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. This is his ego coming up again, and he's like, oh, okay, well.
Although 10 is redeemed, there is another fun moment where Donna says you can hug 10 and get a paper cut. Just another moment where the writers are like, he's skinny, and look at him, ooh, very nice and in shape.
I don't know. I think that one's more depreciate. What's the word I'm looking for?
Is it deprecating?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or defecating?
No, that's pooing.
That's a poo.
Whatever that word is, I feel like that's not sexy 10. That's more.
He's got no muscles.
Yeah, no bones. No, he's got bones, but no. Yeah, well, you said. Anyway, so Dr. Jones is leading this big operation for the Unified Intelligence Task Force. I don't know if you picked up on that. A little change.
I didn't pick up on that, but Nathan, before we move on, can I just rewind the tape?
Oh, okay. Well,
not the actual tape, right?
I'll go to the tape.
No, not the tape. I just wanted to talk about something, right? Because.
Oh, do you want to talk about her engagement?
I do.
Okay, got them.
Because it raises some questions. Firstly, before I get into my main point, I like that Donna notices the engagement ring. Just another reminder again that, the Doctor is an alien. He wouldn't look for something like this.
Yeah. And he's probably self-absorbed and thinking about himself as well.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Martha fancies me. This is really awkward. Meanwhile, she's quite literally engaged to another bloke. But I like all of that and how Donna immediately breaks that ice. But I wanted to ask you about this engagement to Tom Milligan, a character we know.
Okay, kind of though. Kind of. So
yeah, and this is where we're at.
We know a version of Tom Milligan who no longer exists because time was reversed and all of that never happened.
But for Martha, it did.
Yeah.
So I just want to know how that transpired.
Yeah.
Because Martha obviously sought him out. It's not like she just went to work one day.
Well, we saw her call him at the end of series 3.
That's true. We did.
Yeah.
I don't know how this sits with me. I think they needed to. I like the fact that, well, firstly, we know that engagement doesn't really work out.
Spoiler alert.
Big spoiler alert, but, well, no, not a big spoiler alert. I think they just
Don't spoil the thing, but yes.
Okay, yeah. So we know that it doesn't turn out the way that it's necessarily appearing to be.
Yes.
So I think it does scream a little bit of like, who was the other man? Who was the other guy that we can... Because Martha has to have moved on from the Doctor in this. So who was that other guy? It screams a little bit of that. And I also, like... I'm not sure I like the implication that, like, Martha, like, has this just knowledge of this guy. Like, she watched her soon-to-be husband get murdered, Nathan.
Yeah.
In a scenario that, like, does he know about this?
Again... If you haven't listened to that episode, I'll just give you my take on it. The most stupid fucking way possible. Or an absolute wet blanket of a man he was anyway.
I think he was a passionate man who died for a cause he believed in, Nathan. That's what I think.
Martha Jones was that cause. And look, I'm not saying that's a bad cause to die for. I'd die for Martha Jones.
Yeah.
But just a woman he just met just straight away being like, oh yeah, I'll run blindly into this and not even shoot my gun once.
Yeah, I think he should have fired off a shot, is what I will say. But I don't know. This just implies that, like, I don't know if there's any implication, but it leaves a lot of questions unanswered. Does Tom Milligan know that this happened? Has Martha disclosed this to him?
I don't think she would have, because
it's fucking weird.
Like, how would you, if you just started dating someone and then, like, you know, it's maybe your third, fourth day or whatever, you're having a glass of wine, maybe you're having breakfast together, and then, you know, over a cup of tea, whatever the conversation, she goes, you know, actually, funny thing.
You know, I work with aliens.
Well, I don't think she'd be saying that, first of all.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But, funny thing, we actually met, and you just had your memory erased.
We spent, you fancied me for a proper year and then you died like a fucking idiot. Did you know that?
I don't think that'd go down well, to be honest.
No, but I also think there is something that doesn't sit well with me in that not being a conversation that took place. I feel like he deserves to know.
But how could it possibly be a conversation, though?
I don't know, but like enough people, but they know about aliens, right? This is not our reality where you'd have to convince us aliens existed. Right, this version of Earth knows about aliens. They always they go away at Christmas because they're like, fuck, them aliens are going to be having a knees up, aren't they?
They do for now, but that'll change.
Yeah, they do get a reset every Doctor. But
look, I don't know. I don't think there's anything inherently sinister about it, though. Really, Martha having that information, she's not doing anything with it, is she? She's not like, I'm going to make him fall in love with me because I know that he died or whatever. Like, she's not doing that, is she?
No, I guess not. It's one of them things that I've always thought about when I watch this episode and I go, okay.
It's definitely odd. I'll give you that.
Yes.
It is definitely odd, but...
Indeed. All right. Anyway, she leads an operation, you were saying.
Yeah, this is Operation, was it Blue Sky, did she say?
Blue Sky, well, she says Blue Sky is a go, Nathan. So
she says Operation Blue Sky is go, 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 I believe you'll find.
But then she says Operation Blue Sky is a go.
Shut the fuck up.
She says both, we're both right.
No, only I am correct.
I see.
So yeah, and then we have this moment where it's this big sort of military. I'm hesitant to say the word invasion, but
it's like a ground assault, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not an assault. It's just we're here.
I'd feel pretty fucking assaulted if 100 soldiers ran into my house with armed guns.
Yeah, but they're not shooting at anyone. That's an assault, isn't it? Like no one gets shot or killed or anything like that. It's a takeover, I guess.
It's this. We're gonna look at this building.
Yeah, we're here.
So
anyway.
Deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I call my dad and ask him what it is?
Dad, the last time you invaded a car fucking TomTom factory, that's within character for your dad. He had enough and he stormed the TomTom factory.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So there's this whatever. Let's say assault on the factory. No, because it's not an assault. Whatever. There's a military thing on a factory. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Which for some reason Martha is leading.
Yes, even though she's a doctor, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we let the medic have a go on this one?
the newly qualified medic. Oh, but also, like, seemingly running this operation just means that she goes, yeah, on a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, she just says, all right, yeah, let's go, basically. Like, I think it's probably more to do with the fact that, like, she's got experience with the doctor and, you know, she's done, like, this type of thing. Not this type of thing, but, you know, she's done all kinds of stuff before. She has... This isn't touched upon in the episode, but I believe she has spent some time with Torchwood at this point.
I guess she would have done, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, because by the end of season 4, she already knows Jack. Well, I know she knows Jack anyway, but she's, like, done Torchwood, and Gwen knows Martha and everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, she took over the doctor position when Owen got shot in the head.
Spoiler alert for Torchwood, I guess.
No, he didn't actually get shot in the head. He got shot somewhere else. Believe it or not, doesn't really affect the show.
Great, okay. Wonderful stuff. Well, there we go. What was I saying?
You were
throwing me off with all your Owen talk.
She's in the factory, Nathan. She's taking control of it.
Oh, yes, that's right. So she's leading Operation Blue Sky, and then there's this moment of, like, the Doctor and Donna looking a little bit uncomfortable, which I think is understandable, as like, oh, sweet little Martha, who we traveled about in time and space with. She's a lovely person. We had some great adventures, and now she's like, get on your knees to like these factory workers as the whole unit task force just come in and just, you know, get everyone down to the ground. It's a bit like, oh, I don't know about this one, Chief.
It's like, as an audience, it does seem like a part of a character departure, but then I think that is like touched upon later. I do think the Doctor and Martha have a conversation which kind of, it lets us in and lets us kind of feel at home and say that like this is still the Martha you know.
Yeah.
But there's certain benefits that living with the Doctor is afforded, can be afforded to a companion, where you live the Doctor's life, you go off and you forget about it. Yeah. And that's not what Martha can do anymore. She has to do the paperwork and she has to hang around and look after people after the fact.
Yeah.
Which I love. But anyway, that conversation's maybe not for a little bit. But what didn't I notice about UNIT? What were you saying?
Oh, it's the Unified Intelligence Task Force now, rather than the United Nations Intelligence Task Force.
Does that speak to something that was happening at the time that I don't know about?
No, I just think the United Nations probably went, hey, maybe we shouldn't have our name on this.
Yeah. Just storming factories.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It still is the United Nations, like in universe. It's just, it's not called it, I guess.
Yeah, the actual UN were probably like,
Yeah, that's generally what I think happened. Like the actual, in real world, the actual UN were like,
yeah,
maybe don't put.
Well, this is the first unit appearance in the revival, so it probably was. They probably just went, let's tie a shit around this now.
That's not true. That is. There's been so much. Are you mad?
All right, no, but it's the first we've seen them shoot a gun from a building somewhere else.
What's the Valiant, Lawrence?
Yeah, but there's no unit there though, is it? That's just
all the guards were unit.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought they were just guards for the Valiant. The Valiant guards.
The Valiant is unit.
Oh well. Whatever. Do you reckon there's any of the old guards still on staff? And Martha's like, you don't remember this, but you were real nasty to my family.
They would remember it.
Oh, they would, yeah.
Yeah.
Just some awkward break room meetings.
Yeah, the Valiant was ground zero. Anyone on board the Valiant remembers. So
there's a couple of Valiant guards that are like, oh, Martha's running point on this one. She always gives us the bad shifts because of that time we tortured her family.
I just remembered. We'll see the Valiant next week as well. So there we go.
There we go.
Beautiful stuff. So this isn't the first time we've seen the unit, you idiot.
Okay. Is it the first time we've seen this little snivelling loser of a major or general?
It is, yes. Yes, it is. Yeah.
What a little nerd.
Yeah. I guess.
He's I don't know. He just. There's something about him. I don't like him. He looks like a snivelling little loser.
I mean, he's all right.
He's fine, isn't he? He's just a little.
I do like that. Straight away, he's like, "Oh, Doctor, sir," and giving him salutes, and the Doctor's immediately like, "Oh, I don't like this. Stop this right now." And then like. The general guy seems to get a chip on his shoulder about that, like as the episode goes on, and he's like, he starts to give the Doctor shit, like, because then the Doctor's later talking about like how he has a gun and he's a soldier and your bad news and all this type of stuff, and he's like, I'm just doing my job, sir, and just he gets weird about it. But fair play
the Doctor's like, I'm not bringing my TARDIS to the front line, and he's like, oh, so you do have a weapon then? So I guess it's not all so bad. One rule for the Doctor and another for me.
TARDIS isn't a weapon.
No, but he sees it as that, doesn't he? He's
he would. He's a big blue idiot. The TARDIS, whatever. I don't care. I do like it when Donna gives that guy a bit of shit. She's I can't remember what she's saying, but she's like, I'll have a salute. Go on.
Oh yeah, and she's like, oh, and it's Donna, by the way, since you didn't ask. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Like, I don't know. I guess, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something in there about like they just ignore the companion, but then Martha is also there. So like, they don't ignore the companion. I don't know. It's saying something about how they just don't value certain people when they're next to the Doctor.
Yeah, I think they kind of possibly missed a trick without maybe. I understand it's like a new time or a new era of the show at this point and stuff, but like UNIT was such a big part of the classic series, and the third Doctor in particular, and working with like the Brigadier and that type of stuff. So I think it's maybe a missed trick to not like put in like because later down the line we obviously have Kate Stewart, who's the Brigadier's daughter, and we do get those kind of connections. So maybe it is a bit of a mistrick to just have, and here's a new guy or whatever. But
yeah, but it's probably down to like some sort of restriction and like scheduling, because like it's hard to just get that guy, isn't it? That one guy.
I'm not even necessarily saying like get the Brigadier himself, but like I don't know, someone who knows him, or I don't know, just.
It'd be cool to have like an older guard, maybe a young guy calling the shots, but an older guard that's like, "You're the Doctor? Fuck, you look different." Yeah, that'd be quite cool.
But he is still technically on staff, so it's probably.
I love that.
He's missed quite a few paychecks, I guess. So where's all that going?
Yeah, and then someone is like just cashing them. Someone is just on the side, like, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it to him." Yeah. Maybe Martha's like, "I'll call him. I'd know his bank details." And then she's just taking it back to her family, like, "You guys fucking earned this for the Doctor." I
mean, yeah, 30 years worth of secret intelligence service paychecks. That'd be quite a lot.
It's a hefty sum. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
Although you're getting emergency taxed on that if you cash it all at once.
Tax has already been paid, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's wages, isn't
of
it?
Course.
Yeah, it's wages, so.
Decent. All right, nice. Yeah. Go on then, Martha. Embezzle that money. They're looking around the factory, Nathan. This is a scene that I particularly like. They're looking around the factory because they're all investigating the Atmos. I was about to say Atmos system, but luckily I stopped myself before a certain man got incredibly cross. But they're investigating the Atmos things, the like, and how they work. They found no alien traces in them, and I would say that looks accurate because the design is very big, very bulky, and bigger than a regular sat-nav was at the time.
Excuse me. Are you talking about the actual thing like that goes like on the bottom of the car, or the?
Yeah, they stick it on the bottom, don't they, or something?
Yeah. Well, people didn't have those.
No, but how does that work then? It just integrates with any car UI ever.
I guess. Yeah.
just suddenly, someone's fucking like 2003 Skoda is just souped out to the max.
I mean, it's alien, Lawrence, isn't it?
It's true. I shouldn't ask questions about it.
It's not real, and it's alien, first of all. So
it's true. Yeah, I like. Oh, actually, no. Before we get all the investigation stuff, we touch in on two soldiers, Nathan, who are going about their job, seeing what's up.
Two absolute fucking idiots, just roaming about the corridors, having the time of their life, and then one of them seems a bit of a prick, and he's just like, "Look at my gun, let me in," or whatever.
That is certainly someone that we will discuss briefly, but also someone that we will talk about later.
Beautiful stuff. I can't remember what happens to them.
They walk into the room. There's two guys that are like, this is out of bounds, and then they just decide to try and like ridicule them. And like, you've got a gun and you've got authority, just ask them to move, and like, or just walk past them. But he's like, listen, you idiot, and just start like, I don't know. They give off the vibe. One of them gives off the vibe of like, I joined the military because I can do nothing else, and the other one that gives off the vibe of like, I peaked in high school and I played rugby up until the moment I couldn't, and now I'm a soldier.
This episode, like, this is UNIT we're dealing with, so this isn't just your average run-of-the-mill armed forces or anything like that.
Yeah,
UNIT's specific fucking directive, mission, whatever, is to combat alien threats. Okay, so you'd have to have like sort of the basic understanding of that type of shit. All right, but like. These two and Martha herself both talk directly to these factory workers, and these are clearly the most hypnotized motherfuckers you have ever seen in your life. Okay, like they're like, hello. I came to do work. Just like
he's not blinking.
He's not blinking, staring into the middle distance. Like you take one look at that bloke and you're like, oh, something's going on here. Like something, but it's never questioned. They're just like, well, no. To be fair, Martha does question it, but after a little bit though, like after talking to him for a bit of time.
I do like that the Sontarans have just put no thought into this hypnosis. It's just like, oh, and also, like, if anyone asks you about this, like, we're totally fine with you just letting them know.
Yeah, just give away the whole plan as well. Like, why not?
How many hours a day do you work? 24.
Yeah, so you can tell them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, maybe they just look at like the human like span of a day and they go, yes, they probably work 24 hours a day. Let's just say that.
I kind of like that though. I think that's Sontaran's been a little bit dumb and not necessarily. Oh, not even dumb, just alien, really, and not necessarily understanding human stuff.
Well, they don't have, like, downtime, do they? Everything they do is about advancing a war and everything else. Like, that's their entire deal. So if they're, like, they probably don't understand the concept that humans don't work more than 8 hours of a 24-hour day, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
We do.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So those guys get hypnotized and then whatever. What else happens?
So that's when the kind of investigating is going on, and Martha and Donna are kind of having a little look around. Well, no, I say the Doctor and Martha are having this chat. This is where we get that point where, you know, the Doctor gets the arse that guy's got a gun. He kind of walks off. Martha's kind of has a go at him for being a bit tetchy and a bit, you know, like, this is, I'll bring you into my work and you're being a knob.
Yeah.
And again, I like the fact that, like, we spoke a lot about how when Donna joined the team, she was very much just gave it back to the Doctor straight away. And that's the kind of role we see Martha step into. Like, the first thing that the Doctor does, she doesn't agree with. She gives him shit for it, which, you know, I just like that when they bring her back with, like, it wasn't empty words at the end of season 3. She really has moved on and she really won't handle and take any of this shit anymore from him.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely has progressed as a character. And, you know, she's not just been sat there in, like, stasis since the end of series 3. So, yeah, it's good to see that progression from her.
It is. And you get another thing I really like is Donna coming in, and, like, this is why I like this episode quite a lot, because I think the plot progresses in such a natural way where the characters inform the narrative choices. Like, there's literally, like you said, UNIT are the best of the best, right? They're the SAS if SAS did aliens, right? They're supposed to be the gold standard of, like, fighting force.
Yeah.
And they're all just walking around being like, let us into this room. We want to go into this room, please. And then none of them think to do the busy work. Donna straight away uses her temp skills and just is like, do you know what's fucking weird? No one has pulled a sickie ever. That
is weird as well.
It is weird.
That is very weird.
I love a sickie.
Lawrence, you're self-employed. Right?
Yeah, back when I could pull one without financially crippling myself, I loved a sickie. I was always like, yeah, no, it's just, you know.
You ever tell James that you're too sick to do Caravan of Garbage?
No, never.
While secretly you're playing Spider-Man or whatever?
No. I take to anyone that's listening, I take my work incredibly seriously.
That's not true. I know for a fact he's lying.
No, Nathan's lying. But yeah, no, I just like that. Like, I think it progresses in such a way that they that makes complete sense for Donna. She notices the small details. She's the perfect, like, human companion, because this is the kind of shit that just wouldn't occur to the Doctor.
Exactly, it is that human element, which is why the companion role is so welcome and necessary at times. Because you're right, this just would not occur to the Doctor, and I think maybe that's even speaks to maybe a little bit on how Martha has changed as well, as how it didn't necessarily occur to her. Perhaps maybe she has become like. Because, you know, we do touch on it a little bit at the beginning of the episode, like Donna saying to the Doctor, is that what you did? You turned her into a soldier. And, like, she has, like, definitely progressed in some steps and made some positive changes from when we last saw her. But then there's there's other changes as well, and is that
Yeah.
necessarily for the better? And this is all stuff which is again touched upon later in the season, but this is a running theme basically.
I think that she's developed an agency for herself and independence aside from the Doctor. And of course, now she has kind of operating freedom to handle these threats in a way that she would want to approach them.
Yeah.
But there absolutely is an element of like regression there, because like for every relationship, the Doctor, for every companion and Doctor relationship, there is an element of they work best as a team. And when Martha kind of progresses outside of her role as a companion and takes on more of a leadership role, I think she does lose an element of that kind of ingenuity and I don't know, like tactical thinking, because she's now concerned with being the Doctor and seeing the bigger picture.
I think it's interesting how often when we get a Doctor companion duo, it's often the case that the companion will help the Doctor become a little bit more human, whereas it's often the other way around with the companion. They'll often lose a bit of humanity by the end of their journey.
Yeah,
interesting.
And this is Martha and Donna's home turf. I know the Doctor knows Earth very well.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to think, when the Doctor takes them to planets, he knows stuff about that planet. He knows what's going on. He knows that the Ood sing, and that's how they communicate, and everything else like that. Yeah. Like, even those little details of, like, the Doctor knows that Donna doesn't need to pick up the orb to speak to that Ood. Those little things. But when they're on kind of Martha and Donna's home turf, Martha takes the reins, and then Donna is going, yeah, you don't know what sickies are, but we pull them, and it's weird that these guys haven't.
It is weird.
Yeah, no, I think so. We did skip over a Sontaran who, because I know that the soldiers are already hypnotized, but before they get hypnotized, I just do really, really like that exchange where an alien lands, and again, we're talking tactical militant task force to deal with aliens. And an alien lands with like far superior weaponry and just a teleport, which is something we can't do and they definitely couldn't do in 2008.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's just like, oh, did they just let you out of school, Humpty Dumpty? And it's like, do you know what? Like, he, like, you know, paralyzed him or whatever, like zapped his leg. And I was just like, you were fucking asking for that one.
He was, yeah.
Just getting in his face. He's like, is that a reference to my height?
Yeah.
I love the Sontarans. They're just very. I love how literal they are.
Yeah,
it's very good. But anyway, so I just wanted
fun
to touch on that before we moved on too far.
Great stuff. So Donna realizes she better go speak to her family. You know, warn them about Marcy. Looks pretty shifty. Obviously wants to make sure they're okay and stuff. Nice little scene, which I think again speaks to the ego of 10. And you know, when Donna says to him, "Oh, I've got to go. I'm going now," and he just immediately goes like, "Oh, you're leaving me." And he just immediately assumes that it's all about him and he's done something wrong, and she's decided to leave him and that type of stuff. But no, she's just going home, mate. She's just going to check in on the family.
She's literally just like, I'm off for a little bit, and he just can't compute the fact that like something is going on, something is happening that doesn't revolve around a decision he's made.
I love that she just lets him go as well. She lets him do his little speech, all the while just silently being like, "You fucking idiot!" Like,
I love her little face when he goes, "Oh," and you're actually just talking about going home, but she's like, "Yeah, sorry." Yeah. I wrote a little thing down because something occurred to me, and this has happened in numerous episodes. I love it when the Doctor goes on, when a companion leaves or like he's thinking about leaving, the Doctor often goes on a bit of a ramble. He goes, "Oh, just, you know, all the places I wanted to take you. I wanted to take you to the shining moons of whatever, and the beautiful diamond hills of this place and this constellation and this, you know, shimmering lands of whatever." But then, like, the adventures that we actually get to see, the adventures we're privy to, is just like, the Doctor's like, "Here's a quarry. I found this quarry. Look at this warehouse."
We'll see that diamond place.
We have seen, and we saw the fancy Ood planet.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, did we spend most of the time outside on that episode?
No.
Or in a warehouse?
Lawrence, we work with what we have, all right?
I know. I love that they do that. They set it up as like, I could have taken you to all these grandiose, amazing places. Like, even midnight, it's like it's in a shuttle bus. Like,
Are you dissing that shuttle bus?
I never would, but I just think that it is funny. It's always like, believe me, if you could see outside of the walls, it's really pretty.
Lawrence, this is not our episode on midnight, so I can't rebuttal that, all right?
All right, fine. Donna does take a little... She hitches a ride with Ross and the Doctor.
Russ.
Huh?
Russ.
Is it Russ?
It's Russ.
It's not Ross?
No, it's not Ross from Friends. It's Russ.
As in... No.
Yeah, it's Russ.
Russ?
It's
Ross. It's Ross, dickhead. I Googled it.
It's Russ.
It's literally Ross Jenkins. I'm looking at his TARDIS Wiki Doctor Who page.
Well, they're wrong. It's Russ.
No. Just admit it.
No, it's Russ.
You're such a prick.
They're wrong, I'm afraid.
For fuck's sake. You're like, oh, it's Russ. Oh.
It is Russ.
It's
They
not.
said Russ.
I'm showing you proof.
Lawrence, I don't care enough to argue, but they
Oh,
say,
now you don't. Interesting, because you're the one that piped up in dispute.
They say Russ in the episode.
Okay, is it more likely that you've just misheard, or is the entirety of the Doctor Who fandom community wrong?
The entirety of the Doctor Who fandom community
Fuck you.
is wrong.
You enrage me.
I know what I heard.
Who's called Russ? No one.
Russell T Davies.
All right, but he's not called Russ, is he?
But it's Russ for short.
Fine, but you're still wrong. You might, I'll concede that point, but the overarching thesis of your argument is wrong.
Incorrect. I am correct.
Anyway, the Doctor and Ross and Donna get in the Jeep, and off they pop. And they drop Donna off. And I really like this scene. I
do too. I did a beautiful little Wilf Donna reunion, which is quite... I love the moment where he sees her and he almost starts to cry as he like waves her down the street. He's just flapping his arms about and that type of stuff. He
does the excited granddad wave.
He does, yeah.
Which I really like. But also the moment where she's like... I don't know, I just like that... I don't know quite what it's saying. I've got my interpretation of it, but I don't know if that's 100% what they were going for.
Probably not.
Well, you never know, do you?
You thought it was called Ross.
I like Donna walking down the street. I like Donna kind of having these flashbacks of like all these amazing things that she's done since the last time she was on that street. And I like, I don't know, I think there's an element of like Donna's always assumed that her life, and she's been, I mean, maybe the assumption has come from Sylvia repeatedly telling her this, that her life is just not amounted to anything and she's not made any impact or difference. So she doesn't do anything with her time. And I just like that she's walking down that street where her family live. And the last time she was on it, all these incredible things that have happened since then, and like how she saw the world before traveling with the Doctor and how she sees it now. And then, I don't know, just Wilf kind of welcoming her home after all of that. I really, really like. I just think it's just a great bit of acting by Catherine Tate.
I think there's a couple of different ways to take it. You could take it down the sense of like, is it Donna saying that, thinking that maybe these adventures are not for her and like this is home and this is safe, or is it her saying, she's now a changed person because of this, because of the adventures she's had? She's not the same person she was when she was last on this street, and that type of stuff. I think I tend to lean more in that direction myself.
That's fair. And is this the last time she comes home before the Doctor brings her home after Journey's End? Because if so, it would be the last time she walked through that front door knowing what she knows.
I off the top of my head, I want to say this is the last time we'll be a modern day Earth until the series finale.
That's what I thought, yeah. So maybe there's a moment of just, I don't know, it's not lost on me that she recalls things. Like, we're shown flashbacks of, like, all these things that she remembers and knows about. And maybe that's something. I don't know. Either way, however you want to take it, I think
Can confirm it is the last time. Yeah.
There you go then. So yeah, I just think it's a really good performance from Catherine Tate, and I suppose maybe there is like a beauty in the fact that you can take it in any way. It's not made explicitly clear what's going through Donna's mind.
Yeah.
Apart from the flashbacks from the show Doctor Who.
There's Turn Left, but that's like
that doesn't count. Yeah.
Alternate. Yeah.
Yeah. There is something on your back.
Indeed.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Which has already been said this series.
It has.
We didn't touch upon it last night.
No, we actually didn't, did we?
No. There's too much going on, Lawrence. What is going on?
Nathan, Martha gets taken to the clone bathtub room.
Yes, she's
does. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing? I wanted to see the guy."
Yes.
And the soldiers are like, "He's in here. He's in the dark room. This room
he's
here.
In yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
This room that you've never seen, but he's here."
Yeah. Follow us on this weird long walk that we do.
And we're standing like 3 abreast.
Yeah.
We're not altering our path whatsoever.
Oh, by the way, we're hypnotized too, but we're a little bit more human for some reason than the others. Don't ask us how that works.
Wait till Martha gets hypnotized and she just becomes sassy for no reason.
I was going to say, yeah, she's sassy Martha.
Like, Donna Noble, what a fucking surprise!
Let me guess, Donna Noble. Like, all right, what's your fucking damage, Martha?
And then she drops that immediately. Anyway, yeah. So Martha gets taken off there. We don't touch back in on her for a while. We're more focused on what Ross and the Doctor are getting up to.
Well, Russ and the Doctor have gone to visit Rattigan Academy.
They have.
Because Luke Rattigan is the boy billionaire genius who designed Atmos, supposedly.
Yes.
So they've gone to have a word, see what he's about. And he runs this academy where it's like the best of the best, brightest of the brightest, geniuses all wearing their little red jumpsuits for some reason, doing PE. And
I don't know about red, but that's fine.
Well, it's definitely red. You're wrong.
It's a fucking cult.
It is a cult, yeah. Is it Russ or someone else who even describes it as a little bit Hitler Youth?
Yeah, he says it's all very Hitler, but then I like Ross as well because he's just cracking. Yeah. He's just cracking little jokes. He's like talking about the Atmos in his car, and he's like, drives me around the fucking wait for this.
Around
the bend, and the Doctor's like, very good.
Very good. I do like that. They build up a good little friendship quite quickly. The Doctor and Russ, yeah, which is made all the more painful next week. But we'll talk about that next week. but yeah, so they go to visit Luke Rattigan, and immediately I think. I love these moments where the Doctor's like, I'm going to be a bit of a dick, yeah? because I can be, like, he immediately clocks that this guy is, like, so just fucking...
He's disillusioned to fuck, right?
He's disillusioned, but he's also, like, so hyper-fixated and thinks himself as so special and important that... You know, he's got the most fragile fucking ego ever, and he can't take a simple elbow. So the Doctor's immediately just like, "Oh, you said that a little bit wrong, didn't you, mate?" Like,
Can you imagine the levels of shit that he would give to like a student? Because the others, they're presumably the cult members or the students. They're presumably not as smart as Luke, or they'd have their own little academies, right? Yeah. So they've gone there to learn. So can you imagine a scenario where this guy is a teacher?
Yeah.
And because the second the Doctor says something wrong, he's like, "Ha! Got ya! You fucking bitch!" Like, imagine a scenario where a student just like, I don't know, he's worked out how you can breathe on Mars or something, and Luke's like, "Yeah, but you didn't think of this, did ya?"
Yeah. He's insufferable, he would be.
Yeah.
And he is, because he's a little insufferable billionaire boy.
Would you say he's the most punchable Doctor Who character up to date?
Well, we've had Adam.
We have had Adam, but I find Adam less punchable because he's more quiet about being a prick.
I don't know. I really wanted to punch him, man. I really wanted to punch him.
I could have punched Elton. Elton would have taken a punch.
I could have punched. Nah, Elton seems nice.
Yeah, but then we know what he does.
Yeah.
We know what he gets onto. Fucking road fucker. He is a road fucker. road fucker is where you draw the line. After we were getting comments last week about ood cum.
Look, ood cum is a What? No, ood cum. Ood cum is lovely to talk about. All right, there's nothing wrong with ood cum.
Okay.
Road fucker's just obscene. Okay. What was the question? What did you ask me?
I have no idea.
Oh, punchable.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty punchable. I don't know if he's quite as punchable as Adam yet, but
okay.
He's well. No, I think he gets more punchable as the episode goes on. Like when we see him later on the Sontaran warship, and he's like, "Earth was too small for me," and all this type of stuff.
Well, it ticked for me in the closing moments when he was Sontar-haring along with the boys, and I'm like, what's that meme? It's like blood thinks he's on the team.
I love how we both thought of that.
It's so fitting for him, right? Blood thinks he's on the team.
Yes. That is, you're right, because I had the exact same thought. It is the exact embodiment of that meme. Like
we said that about Timothy, didn't we? When his Timothy and his little watch in season 3.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. I think Timothy had more of a shot than this guy.
yeah.
He thinks he's a Sontaran, man. He's doing the chant and everything.
He's like, when do I get fitted for my helmet?
Yeah. But you're right. He is a very punchable individual.
He is.
Mr. Conditional clause.
That line, it's always stuck with me when the Doc says, "It's been a long time since someone said no to you," isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a good line. I also think, right, like, and this is again why I said I really enjoyed this episode. This era is known for its little freaks and little just absolute weird thing. Yeah, I mean, like, that's why the segment was started, right? And unfortunately, we both kind of agreed we're not going to choose him as the weirdo this week because we needed to talk about him in the episode. Oh, I see.
Maybe.
Okay. Fine.
Maybe. I don't know if a formal agreement was ever struck. So.
But he's a fucking weirdo. Like, he is literally a little freak.
He is.
And I think that this episode is this could have been such a boring one note character that's like, yes, I'm actually but the way the actor plays him and like his wide bug eyes and everything else, very good stuff.
Yeah. Elon Musk is a teenager. Really?
Yeah, he's a sitcom actor. This guy, isn't he? He's in a few.
Yeah,
shows up in a few.
He's in Plebs. If you ever watched that,
that's the In-Betweeners, but we all have Mormon haircuts, right?
The In-Betweeners, but it's like the Stone Age or whatever.
Yeah.
Mormon haircut. Yeah. What are you doing? What is that?
Don't know. Nathan, I do think that what I was saying about him though is I do think that you need to have this level of a fucking weird performance because you need to feel how disconnected this guy is from his.
What's going on with his
people.
accent?
I don't know.
Is he American? The actor isn't. He's very British. But
well, yeah, because it's system. It's very American. Yeah.
There's a weird American, maybe Canadian twang to his voice.
Maybe they've done that thing that Americans do sometimes where they get super rich and then they go, "I want some old land."
I want a castle. Yeah.
Well, also, what do you make of his general vibe? We touched on this earlier. Not his vibe, his school/home vibe.
Oh, it's weird. It's
fucking deranged.
It's completely fucking deranged. These, like I say, it is Hitler Youth is the best way to describe it. It's got everyone in matching jumpsuits, and they're all like doing physical like. They're all doing like PE. Even the doctor says, "Is it PE? I got my daps on. He's ready to go." Like,
we should have had Catherine here for this episode because I wanted a little breakdown of these science experiments going on.
I think it's all just vague, like Bunsen burners and test tubes and shit. And
did you ever flame up a Bunsen burner? At
all
school?
The time, yeah. Whenever the Bunsen burners got brought out, I was like, "Fuck yeah, here we go, boys."
There's this one guy, right, who's just like, this is an academy of hand-selected geniuses. And then there's this one guy who's just like, "I do the Bunsen burner." And so when Luke Rattigan's in the room and he's like, "Let's learn today, class," he just starts Bunsen burnering away. And he's like, "I hope no one will notice that I only know how to do a Bunsen burner."
So I think the Sontarans have come to Luke with like the Atmos idea and like, hey, we need you to. You don't need to make this. We've made this. Don't worry about it. But like, you can sell this or whatever, and like, whatever. And we'll take some of you and your mates, and we'll get you a new planet where you can, I don't know, be like the smartest people ever or whatever.
An insane deal, right?
Yeah. Like, what's going on, mate? Like,
it's the weakest motivation I've ever heard, ever.
It's such a, like, it really feeds into that, like, no one on this planet understands me. I'm so alone here. I'm such a tortured genius, man. It really feeds into that just big fucking incel energy sort of like vibes, really, doesn't it?
He screams Reddit, doesn't he?
100%. Yeah. Like, this
Am
guy
I the
pays...
asshole for burning my planet?
Yes. This guy, like, he pays for Twitter Blue, man. Like, 100%. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But anyway, yeah, I like that. So the Doctor, I like it when the Doctor has a set. I like it when the Doctor has a little run around set that he can just fuck about with. Like, Tennant is doing good performance as the Doctor here, just like flicking little buttons on a teleport, picking up a little tennis racket and whatever, and just fiddling with stuff. But I don't know. I've always really liked the moment he teleports onto the ship. And then they all just turn around and he goes, oh. He's just a little bit like, oh. Like, we have an intruder. How do you get in?
Intruder window.
And then
the first of two jokes, which Ten will say during this story, which are recycled from previous episodes of the revival era of Doctor Who.
Oh, really? When did we get this intruder window?
Intruder window was from Mr. Van Statten in Dalek. How did he get in? Intruder window. Intruder window. That was funny. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, yeah. So the Doctor just pocketed that one, like...
Well, the Doctor didn't even hear it. He wasn't there. But
well, not this Doctor. Oh, no, the other Doctor wasn't there either,
yeah. So...
maybe they just got really... Maybe they're more similar than they thought they were.
But yeah, the first of two. Second will come next week. But the second one's not really a joke, but whatever.
I greatly anticipate it all the same.
Lovely.
So yeah, the Sontarans land. Quick little bit on the Sontarans in general. Fucking, I love their design. I think they look amazing.
Okay, so here's the thing. I liked their design. Okay, I liked their design, and then it was done better.
Yes.
In Jodie's era.
Yeah, they had that Flux episode, right?
Yeah. And I think that design is so much better. It's much more like the classic design as well. And they do look like a lot more like monsterish and a lot more like ghoulish and stuff. Yeah. And they've gone back to like the black uniforms, which are like more sleek and stuff. There's something about these blue uniform, like the helmet looks cool, but like I think the blue uniform's too tight and skinny, and it's like skin tight, and it's like, look at our abs, which maybe aren't real, and it's I don't know, it's like a really skinny body, but then a really big head, which
it's a little bit like two triangles. Kind of converging in the middle, like an hourglass figure. Now. Ooh.
Sure. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it does. I mean, until this moment, I hadn't considered it, but it does leave you wondering, like, if they take what do their slobs look like? What do they look like when they're not in their armor?
Their what?
Huh?
What do their what?
They're slobs. You not got like a t-shirt and a pair of shorts you wear around the house? I'll just put my slobs on.
Oh, I've never heard of it referred to as that.
Huh. Nah, it can't be like comfies. Another
one.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
What do they look like in their comfies? What's their body type?
I don't think they're wearing comfies. They're a clone race bred for war. So I think they're just always in their military uniforms.
Even when they're just chilling. Or they're not chilling. They never chill.
We do at one point see a group of them go into the cinema. So
do we?
Kind of.
Okay.
When they did the 50th anniversary in the cinema, they had like a bunch of like little like short video announcements beforehand. Like you have one with like the 10th and the 11th Doctor telling you like how the 3D works and everything like that, and then you get just like a fun little one of Strax, a Sontaran who comes into the show later, played by one of the same ones from here.
Thought I recognised that voice.
Yeah, yeah. And he does the whole just like cinema etiquette message, like don't go on your phone, like
please turn off your mobile phones.
Yeah, all of that stuff, which is quite fun to be fair. But then you see him and all his clone batch in the cinema, just getting ready to enjoy the movie. Yeah.
No, fair. But yeah, I like that design. I like the helmet comes off and the flesh. It looks really realistic. Like it looks a
gross.
bit wet. It does look gross. Yeah. It looks a bit like, I don't know. It looks like, have you ever like peeled more of an exotic fruit and just gone, that looks fucked?
Yeah. There's a moment. Oh, it might not even be this story. I might be thinking of the Sontaran we'll see in David Tennant's last episode, but I don't know. There's always stuck out to me. I can always remember a Sontaran shooting and then like licking his lips and looking really gross as he does it, like he's sexually aroused by the fact that he just is shooting. But I think that might be
I know exactly when that is. That is a Sontaran taking aim while the Doctor does his victory lap amongst all of his companions.
Yeah. I thought it was the last one. Yeah. So there we go.
He's going,
but
yum, yum, yum.
But again, same design though. So yeah. Gross.
I'm gonna shoot Martha's second husband.
Lawrence, spoiler alert.
I haven't said who.
It's no one. We don't know who it is.
Oh yes, my mistake.
And we never will.
Nathan, the Doctor. Right, this is a question I wanted to ask you. Okay,
hit me.
The Doctor stopping Atmos by ordering it to drive into the river, knowing it would contradict his orders.
Yeah.
My question is, does Atmos have a say in it? Is it an AI? Is it sentient? Because it is being controlled by Luke and the Sontarans, who have told it to drive into the river. But when the Doctor gives it a backup prompt, it went against their orders to disobey the Doctor. That implies it has some level of free thought and will.
I think it is an AI of sorts.
Okay.
A very early form of AI.
Yeah. Because it answers, it goes back and forth with the Doctor.
Yeah. But I also think that whole scene is quite dumb because it's that's just a quick classic Doctor Who quick fix, basically. Yeah. Just a quick one to get us out of this little bit of danger, and then it's I do like that him and Russ run away from the car, and it's like, quick, get down! There's gonna be a big explosion. And it's just a little.
Tell me how you ran out of budget but needed to make it work. Like,
I don't know. I think it works.
It definitely works. I'm saying I don't know if it was in the script like that, but it was. I think
this
it was very well
done. This is you being cynical once again. You can't just let cynical. It is. You can't just let a good thing be a good thing. You're like, no, this was a decision by the studios who were forced to do this.
I don't think that is what I'm saying. I'm saying I think it shows I think it's a good decision because it's a funny gag. It works in the episode nicely, and they probably saved a bit of money.
I don't think that's what you're saying, but okay.
That is what I'm saying. I know the point I'm making.
I think you backtracked, but okay.
Fuck off. Fucking Russ, bitch.
It is Russ.
Listen. Anyway, Doctor goes back to Donna's house, and that's when
he meets the family again.
Yes, for a second time.
Yes.
I love that. A little different dynamic situation going on here.
Yeah, it's nice when he sees Wilf and they're like, oh, it's you. And then Donna's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Like, you know each other?
Donna is sat there like, I've been looking for this man for like a fucking year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, it turns out everyone knows him.
And then Sylvia comes in and she's like, oh, not this prick again. Like, fuck.
There's always trouble when you're around.
Last time he was here, he was getting fucking killed by Christmas trees and everything. Absolute nightmare. And then we found out that Wilf had Spanish flu during Donna's wedding, so we didn't know what the fuck was going on. So it was like,
Wilf had the Spanish flu.
He was just off in the corner coughing, I guess.
The symptoms include that he wasn't written as a character yet.
Exactly.
But yeah, Sylvia has two of my favourite lines in this whole thing, and which is saying something for a show for an episode that has quite a few iconic lines. But I just love that the Doctor's like, his sonic makes some sparks out on the car. And then Sylvia just to herself, because whenever she's on the screen, it's just an endless spew of some complaints and some grievances she wants to air out. And she goes, "What sort of doctor blows up cars anyway?" and then Donna goes, "Not now," and she just waltzes off screen and goes, "Oh, I should make an appointment." Walks off. I don't know why. I just fucking love that scene of Sylvia. She's so
Sylvia's
fun.
great. Sylvia has that energy of someone who just like always wants to complain. Really,
Yeah, she's got to have an issue with something.
Yeah, she's got to have an issue, and she's got to let you know about it. She can't just sit there and stay quiet. She needs to air her grievances at all times, which is
God help her Facebook friends. Is all I'll say.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Sylvia's wall is just going to be a spew of like all these problems that she's got, and I dare say maybe some hate speech.
Oh Jesus! Okay, well, I don't know if I'd say that myself, Lawrence. I think you might be picking up stuff that's not quite there. But okay.
No, I'm friends with her on Facebook. I see what she says. I see what she writes.
Jesus.
Indeed. Nathan, this is perhaps my favourite. Well, one of my favourite Doctor Who cliffhangers in the way that it's like scripted, shot, and put together in general.
It's them aliens again.
Huh?
It's them aliens again.
It certainly is them aliens again.
Great, thanks. Just killed that in the fucking war, didn't you?
I'll give you a little fresh one.
Yeah.
I rewound. No, the way this is all put together, the cars being locked, like the gas just pouring out, the Sontaran war chant going on, Wilf is passing out, like. It's just my favourite thing about the whole thing is that the Doctor is just fucking clueless. He has no idea what to do. He
has no idea how to help, how to stop what's going on. Yeah, it's a moment of like real helplessness from the Doctor, and the Sontaha, and it builds as it goes on and gets quicker and more intense. And Blood thinks he's on the team. It's all good stuff. It's all really enjoyable. I do like it quite a lot. And then that final moment with like Donna screaming "Doctor" and him just turning around, but like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Like what am I meant to do in this scenario? Yeah. I love that. And also like it's just an immediate way to up the stakes. Like Wilf, I don't know, maybe this is something they had in mind. I can't say how forward they planned this, but like Wilf has a habit of going and getting himself stuck.
Oh, okay. In no way was that planned at this point.
I don't know if it wasn't planned.
I would bet as much money as I have, which isn't a lot, that is not the case. Okay.
I think maybe they retroactively thought it might be a nifty connection. But
I'm doubtful of, but okay.
They make a point of Wilf is like helping out. Wilf is like, I'm gonna see what's going on in here. And then the way it all like the car door locks and everything, just great stuff. And immediate makes me immediately take it more seriously because Wilf is stuck, and I don't want Wilf to die. I love Wilf.
Well, I don't think anyone wants Wilf to die, so
least of all me.
Yeah, so that's fair. Is there anything else to say before I hit my big blue button?
I don't believe so, Nathan.
Beautiful. It's blue. Spoiler alert. That's some lore that's never been revealed before.
Weirdo of the Week. Weirdo.
This is everyone's favourite segment of the show where we get to take a chance to look back on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week. Lawrence, who is your weirdo for this week?
Mine is, I presume he has a name, but the soldier
Russ.
No, not Russ. the soldier that gets turned into a clone, the one that is more mouthy and gives it rather than the more melt one.
Private Harris.
Is it Private Harris? Private Harris, yeah.
Yeah.
He is a knob, and I think I just think that like consistently breaking his protocol. His seeming the way he operates is very much just like, here's a man that's clearly hypnotized. Let's insult him. Here's an alien that could kill me. I reckon I'll insult him too. Like, I think he's one of them guys that is just like hungry for this. Like, he was waiting round the corner in the opening of this episode, just like, I can't fucking wait for Operation Blue Sky. I'm going to go in and just fucking berate everyone. Yeah. And I think he's an oddball, and his partner just his partner doesn't even seem to like have that vibe. His partner just seems to like put up with him. He's like, I've been lumped with Private Harris. This is fucking hell.
His partner seems like a wet lettuce.
Yeah, but like, I'd prefer a wet lettuce with me than this guy who's just antagonizing aliens next to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my weirdo. We already spoke about him a little bit, but I just think he is a fucking oddball that just should not be in that environment.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not great.
Indeed. Nathan, who is your weirdo of the week?
Well, Lawrence, with an episode like this, I think there really is only one choice for weirdo of the week.
I agree, Nathan, but
I think you cannot go for this. You cannot select any weirdo other than Luke Rattigan.
It's hard not to take this personally, but that's fine.
My weirdo for this week, and my reasons are: did you see the episode? Like, just
everything he does,
every single little detail. He's one of the reasons this segment exists. Okay, like he is one of the ultimate weirdos, if there ever was one. Just the most fucking. And I think what's worse about it is, like, we've had weirdos where it's like something completely far-fetched and absurd and something that could never possibly be, but this cunt's real. Like, there are people like this guy, all right? Like, I could name you some names of, like, dudes like this, all right? They exist. They are real, all right? Luke Rattigans are out there, unfortunately. Look, they're not working with the Sontarans or anything like that. But I think give them a chance, they would happily sell out the rest of the human race for some nefarious purposes. But yes, Luke Rattigan is my weirdo, because what a fucking weirdo.
He is an insane weirdo, it must be said. And we'll discuss him more next week, because there's some other stuff that he does that is, and then people are like, maybe he's a good guy, and I'm like, no, maybe he's still fucking terrible.
He might be my weirdo for next week as well. I don't know yet. I haven't watched the episode.
I think we should swap, and you have to do the hard work of finding another weirdo, and I get Luke Rattigan next week.
I don't know. I think we'll see.
That's fine. Nathan, do we have any tweets or emails?
We do have some tweets and emails, Lawrence, and I'll go through these now. Magnanimous Acorn Holder. I get
Hang on. Is that how that's pronounced?
This is what I was just saying, Lawrence, before you interrupted me. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if that is correct. So thank you. RTD realised the benefits of giving the Ood some writing, which did them justice last episode, and graciously decided to give Martha the same treatment. Crazy how Martha is objectively doing better now she isn't stuck with the doctor in his mopey. Now she isn't stuck with the doctor in his mopey prick era.
Very true.
Yeah, very true. We touched upon that. She has definitely progressed without him holding her back, I guess. So,
definitely holding her back, yeah.
Yeah. This one is from Everything Is Anything at Everything Is Any, who says, fun time. Love Donna forever. This series was the first one I watched, and because of that, I watched the series with Martha. So I think they went back and watched series 3 because
right,
of this.
I see, yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. I'm always happy to hear people getting involved and checking out more of Martha, so that's good to hear.
Indeed.
Greg Cactus Face at G Cactus Face.
Oh, the main event
on Twitter, and says the Atmos system provides incorrect advice to the experienced drivers, which leads them to failing at driving/navigating. When a coach provides incorrect bowling or batting advice, it also can lead to the downfall of even experienced athletes. Sporting endeavors.
It cannot be argued that is true. I don't know if the Atmos is like they get bad ideas. The Atmos is like, you should turn left, and they're like, now I'm a bad driver. I think the Atmos is mostly enforcing that upon people.
Are you saying Greg is wrong?
I would never say Greg is wrong.
Sounds like you're saying Greg is wrong. So
no, I would never say that. Thank you very much, Greg. Thank you very much, everyone else. Have we got any emails?
We do have an email, Lawrence. I will pull this up now. I'd like to start the review. Okay, so sorry. This is from, I should say this. This is from Sam Coney Beer. Sam Coney Beer? Sam Coney Beer, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Coney Beer. And this, it's from Sam. I'd like to start the review by saying Lawrence's take on the Ood transformation in last episode is indeed an absolutely dog shit take.
Well, we found Nathan's old account.
No. Not a certified banger, but a solid and grubby outing of Doctor Who, and a great reintroduction to my favourite potato dwarves. Ten is in full swing with his tenisms, like Intro the Window and Stole the Knot, so non-defeated, but never mind, and showing that he is still a fuckboy with thinking Donna and Martha would fight over him. Nice to see Martha.
Never heard him referred to as a fuckboy.
It checks out, though. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice to see Martha back, but the episode proves again that she deserves better from the writing, because although she's no military leader, she still gets captured and cloned. That's a good point, actually. She does immediately get taken away.
That is true.
Some lovely moments from Donna and Wilf. Bernard Cribbin's face when he sees Donna coming down the road always gets me. A contender to steal Adam's crown as the Still Got Legs worst weirdo of all time. Luke Rattigan proves that incels have always existed. As someone who is 5'3", I feel I can say he is a grubby little character that shares the Sontaran's short person syndrome. Props to this episode for bringing Dan Starkey to Doctor Who. That's a good point. He plays one of the Sontarans, and he goes on to play Strax. He's great. All in all, a fun episode despite some of the 2008 sexism and alien racism. Sontar heart indeed. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. I actually spoke with Sam a little bit earlier this week. He got in touch because he wants to send us something. He asked if we have a PO box. We don't, but we've arranged something. So we'll look out to that, and thank you for Sam for doing that. You don't need to send us anything, all right? No one needs to send it. This is just a silly little show that we do because we like talking about Doctor Who. By no means are we asking for anything like that, but it's appreciated, and thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing what that is.
This is
thank you, Sam.
your last opportunity, I guess, to guess what it could be. I would say
he did include a picture of what it is, but I don't want to reveal that just yet.
You know.
So well, if it is that, and if it is, I'm very excited. But
is it an entire deck full of you know, like they had the Battles in Time trading card books with the slots?
Lawrence, you're not a million miles away. That's all I'll say.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But hey, we'll see when that arrives. So yeah, that is pretty much the episode. Obviously, next week we have the part 2 to this, the wrap up of this episode, and obviously we have that to look forward to. But until then, take us home, Lawrence.
I certainly shall. Thank you very, very much for listening. If you have enjoyed this show, then you can leave us a little review, please. 5 stars. Oh, Nathan!
Lawrence,
you have to read the review.
Lawrence, ask me if we have any new reviews.
Nathan, do we have any new reviews?
I don't know. I'm gonna go check now.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll just read the. We have quite a few actually. I'll read. I'll read all of them. Here's just a random review. This one is from Rhea Rocks 223. This is one of the best Doctor Who 5 stars, I should say.
Lovely.
This is one of the best Doctor Who podcasts I've ever listened to. Can't wait to hear more. Thank you, Rhea Rocks.
That's very kind.
That is very kind. Thank you very much.
Take that, Radio Scaro!
Yes. Which have somehow become our enemies for some reason.
And Who Culture. I've got actual personal beef with Who Culture.
You do have personal beef with Who Culture, which we don't have time to get into.
No.
At official... Oh, no, not at. This is just on the podcast thing. But official Tom H or official Tomb? Official Tom H, I'll say. I did it again. I chose another stupid ape pod. Thank you.
Very good.
I like that.
Good
That review is entitled "Fantastic." And then if I have to read out one more, I guess I'll just select one at random.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
This one is called Still Got It, and it's from Jeff Lemon. And it was written on the 7th of November 2023. A wonderful podcast about a 60-year-old show that goes off on various bizarre tangents at the drop of a fez. A must listen for me every week, especially as this review is read out every week.
Yay.
All in capitals. Never stop, and we never will.
Never ever.
So thank you,
very
Jeff.
much.
I think that's the third version of that review that exists.
Just
now,
always
thanks to
has
Jeff.
to stop his life.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So if you do want to leave a review, please go ahead and do so. That's over there at Apple Podcasts or on your other podcast platform of choice. 5 stars, no less, or I'll hunt you down and punch you with my Sontaran boys.
Indeed. And Nathan doesn't even have one of them neck holes that you can use to take him down. He would just keep swinging, yeah. So, you can also give us a little follow on Twitter if you like. We are at Still Got Legs Pod. That is where Nathan will typically send out his little prompts, letting you know what the next episode is going to be. It's a good opportunity for you to get your thoughts in. You can also email your thoughts at stillgotlegspod at gmail.com.
Still Got Legs Podcast.
Stillgotlegspodcast at gmail.com. So that'll be very, very good stuff. Nathan, we have another podcast, I believe.
We do. It's called Another Happy Pod. It's our main flagship show, although it's less popular than this one.
It's not our flagship anymore, is it? It's just not.
It kind of is, because we're under the branding of Another Happy Studios, which is just a thing we made up.
Yeah.
So it kind of is. But anyway, it's our pop culture show where every week we discuss something in that realm. I will actually say this week we are doing a crossover of sorts. With Still Got Legs, as it is the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, we decided that we want to celebrate that across our other podcast as well. So we will be taking a look at an adventure in time and space, which is the docudrama sort of thing, which came out during the 50th anniversary, written by Mark Gatiss, all about the creation of Doctor Who. So we'll be watching and discussing that.
And
this week, so come along and join us.
When they're listening to this, that'll be this coming Friday, right?
Yeah, I never know. I get confused.
It won't be the Friday just gone. So if you're listening to this when it comes out on Monday, it's the coming Friday.
What was the most recent episode we did?
Edge of Tom Cruise going back in time.
It's Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, don't worry about that one. You can skip that one. But yes, we will be doing that next week. So check that out. Join in on the Docky Who fun.
Thank you to everyone. And Sam, we're very much looking forward to seeing what you've sent us, even though Nathan already knows what it is.
Bye.
Bye.